Let's talk helicopters, the ultimate way to rise above the chaos, literally. There's something undeniably thrilling about watching a helicopter lift off, its rotors slicing through the air as it escapes the gridlock below. For many, helicopters represent more than just a mode of transport. They're a symbol of freedom, innovation, and the ability to go where others simply can't. Stuck in gridlock? A helicopter lifts off a rooftop and leaves the traffic behind. While others are honking their horns and checking their watches, you're already soaring above the city, watching the world shrink beneath you. It's the ultimate shortcut, turning hours of frustration into minutes of smooth, uninterrupted travel. That's the dream: freedom, style, and a bit of James Bond flair. There's a certain mystique to stepping into a helicopter, the kind that makes you feel like you're starring in your own action movie. Whether you're heading to a high-stakes meeting or just making an entrance, nothing says "I've arrived" quite like a helicopter. It's not just about looking cool, sometimes it's pure efficiency. Helicopters are designed for people who value their time above all else. When every minute counts, the ability to bypass traffic, avoid delays, and land closer to your destination is a game changer. Imagine a CEO needing to visit 3 remote sites in one day. By road, impossible. By helicopter, it's a breeze. You can touch down at a factory in the morning, inspect a project in the mountains by noon, and still make it back to the city for an evening event. The flexibility is unmatched. You can hop from city to countryside, land on a lawn, and be home for dinner. Helicopters open up destinations that would otherwise be out of reach, letting you blend business with pleasure and maximize every day. Helicopters turn tedious journeys into memorable adventures. The view from above is breathtaking. Rolling hills, winding rivers, and city lights all become part of the experience. Every flight is a chance to see the world from a new perspective. They're not just for showing off, they're powerful tools for saving time. For busy professionals, families, or anyone who values efficiency, helicopters can transform the way you travel. Suddenly, tight schedules and distant locations aren't obstacles, they're opportunities. The appeal is primal. Skip the queues, beat the traffic, and see the world from a new angle. There's a sense of empowerment that comes with flying, a feeling that you're in control of your own destiny, unbound by the limits of the road. Travel becomes an adventure, not a chore. Even routine trips feel special when you're gliding above the landscape, sharing the moment with friends or family. It's an experience that creates lasting memories. But, as with any marvel of engineering, there are trade-offs. Helicopters require meticulous maintenance, skilled pilots, and careful planning. The convenience comes with responsibilities and costs that can't be ignored. The highs are spectacular, but the lows can be significant. Weather can ground flights, regulations can limit where you land, and safety is always the top priority. It's a world where preparation and caution are just as important as speed and style. The reality of helicopter charter is more complex than the Hollywood fantasy. There's paperwork, briefings, and sometimes a bit of waiting. But for those who embrace the process, the rewards are worth it. It's worth knowing what you're getting into before you book your flight. Understanding the logistics, the costs, and the rules ensures your experience is as smooth as possible. Helicopters promise freedom, but they come with their own set of rules. From flight plans to landing permissions, there's a framework that keeps everything running safely and efficiently. They're not for every journey, but when they fit, nothing else compares. For the right occasion, a helicopter is more than just a ride. It's an experience, a statement, and sometimes a necessity. So, why want a helicopter? For the moments when only flying will do. When you need to be somewhere fast, or want to make an impression, or simply crave the thrill of flight, a helicopter delivers. It's about bending time, making memories, and arriving in style. It's about turning the ordinary into the extraordinary, and making every journey count. And that's why the dream of helicopter travel endures. For those who dare to rise above, the sky is never the limit, it's just the beginning. The helicopter's superpower? Flexibility. Unlike jets, helicopters don't need runways or airports, just a clear patch of ground. This means true point-to-point travel. City helipad to country estate, yacht, or remote lock. No traffic jams, no last-mile headaches. You land closer to your destination, sometimes right at the front door. It's the ultimate shortcut, redrawing the travel map to suit your needs. For those who need to reach out-of-the-way places, nothing else comes close. Helicopters connect the unconnected, making the remote feel accessible. They turn impossible itineraries into seamless journeys. It's not just convenience, it's a fundamental shift in how you plan your time. For the right mission, the whirlybird is unbeatable. That's the magic of helicopter access. One of the helicopter's best tricks? Landing in the heart of the city. Cities are congested, but a helicopter hops right over the mess. In New York, a 2-hour airport crawl becomes a 6-minute flight to Manhattan. London's Battersea Heliport puts you minutes from the West End. Monaco's Helipad offers a dramatic arrival with harbor views. These urban helipads are gateways for the time-pressed traveler. Step out, and you're in a waiting car, sky to street in moments. It's as close to teleportation as travel gets. The experience is unforgettable. The roar, the lift, the cityscape below. But city flying comes with strict rules. Noise limits, set routes, and limited hours. Freedom, yes, but carefully managed. Navigating city airspace takes skill and planning. Time for a reality check. Helicopters are fussy. When the weather turns bad, they're not going anywhere. Unlike commercial jets that can often power through storms or land in low visibility, helicopters are much more sensitive to the elements. Fog, wind, or rain can cancel your flight at a moment's notice. Even a sudden change in weather can mean your plans are instantly up in the air, literally and figuratively. Helicopters fly low, hugging the landscape, and they need clear visibility to operate safely. This means that even when it looks fine on the ground, conditions up in the air might be a different story. This weather sensitivity means you always need a backup plan. Delays and cancellations are part of the deal, so flexibility is key if you want to travel by chopper. Then there's the issue of space. Helicopters are compact by design, built for agility rather than luxury. Most seat just 4 or 5 passengers with cozy seating and very limited room for luggage. You'll be up close and personal with your fellow travelers. Forget about bringing big suitcases or golf clubs unless you specifically book a larger, more expensive model. Pack light and be prepared to leave the extras behind. And the noise? It's loud, really loud. Headsets aren't just for show, they're essential for communication and comfort. The experience is visceral and mechanical, with the constant thrum of rotors and vibration. It's nothing like the quiet, insulated cabin of a jet. But these quirks are the price you pay for the incredible flexibility of point-to-point travel. Helicopters can land where planes simply can't. Weather, space, and noise are real trade-offs you have to accept if you want the adventure and convenience of helicopter travel. You gain access to places others can't reach, but you lose some comfort and certainty along the way. It's a balancing act between adventure and practicality. Helicopters are brilliant machines, but they're not always predictable. The weather, the space, and the noise are all part of the package. So, know the limitations before you book. Do your research, ask questions, and be ready for a different kind of journey. That's the reality behind the dream, an unforgettable experience, but one that comes with its own set of challenges. Helicopter or jet? They're built for different jobs. Helicopters are engineering marvels, but complex and maintenance heavy. More moving parts mean more downtime for checks and repairs. Jets are simpler, more reliable, and better in bad weather. Jets fly high above storms, using advanced instruments for all-weather travel. Helicopters are grounded by poor conditions more often. The jet is the long-distance cruiser, reliable, fast, and weatherproof. The helicopter is the short-hop specialist, landing almost anywhere. They're not rivals, but partners. Jet for the main journey, helicopter for the tricky final leg. The best private travel often combines both. Each has its place. Choose wisely for your mission. That's the real story of Rotors and Wings. Let's talk cost. Helicopters aren't cheap. In fact, for many people, the price tag can be surprising, especially when you compare it to other forms of private air travel. Helicopters are often seen as a luxury, but there's a lot more to the story than just the initial sticker shock. Despite being smaller and sometimes less flashy than private jets, helicopters can actually cost just as much or even more per hour to operate. It's a common misconception that size equals price, but in aviation, that's not always the case. The complexity of helicopters is a major factor driving up costs. Maintenance is frequent and specialized, insurance premiums are high, and pilots require extensive ongoing training. Add in the cost of fuel, which fluctuates with the market, and you start to see how quickly expenses add up. For example, a light helicopter might run you anywhere from 1,500 pounds to 2,500 pounds per hour. That's just for the basics, no frills, no extras. If you're looking at top executive models with luxury interiors and twin engines, the hourly rate can soar to 6,000 pounds or more. These are the helicopters you see landing on skyscraper rooftops or whisking VIPs to exclusive events. These rates are right up there with what you'd pay for a light or mid-sized private jet, making helicopters a serious investment for any traveler or business. But the real value of a helicopter isn't just in the flight time, it's about the time you save and the places you can reach that jets simply can't access. Helicopters can land in remote areas, private estates, or even right at your office building. If a helicopter lets you avoid an overnight hotel stay, skip hours of ground travel, or close a crucial business deal in person, the cost can quickly become justifiable. For many, it's an investment in efficiency and opportunity. Ultimately, it's about weighing value versus price. The numbers on paper are only part of the equation. You're paying for convenience, speed, and the unique access that only a helicopter can provide. For the right mission, these benefits can far outweigh the costs. Used wisely, a helicopter is an expensive but incredibly powerful tool, one that can transform the way you travel or do business. The key is to use it where it truly makes a difference, whether that's reaching a remote site, responding to an emergency, or making a grand entrance at an event. That's how the numbers add up, and why, for some, the investment is worth every penny. When it comes to speed and range, jets win every time. Helicopters cruise at about 160 mph, fast but nowhere near a jet's 400+ mph. Their range, around 300-400 miles, think London to Paris, not continent hopping. Jets can cross countries and oceans, helicopters are regional specialists. The helicopter shines on trips too long to drive, too short for a jet. A 150-mile journey is its sweet spot, 1 hour by helicopter, hours by car. For longer trips, helicopters are inefficient and slow. For short hops, jets are overkill. Pick the right tool for the job. Helicopters conquer awkward distances with style and precision. Know their limits, and they're unbeatable for the right mission. That's the range and speed reality. Ready to book? Finding the right helicopter can be tricky. Executive helicopters are rarer than you think, especially outside major business hubs. In places like California, most helicopters serve firefighting or emergency roles, not luxury charters. Scarcity drives up prices and limits flexibility. You may need to book well in advance or pay extra for repositioning. In Europe's big cities, supply is better, but in remote areas, options are limited. A good charter broker can help you navigate the market. So, when does chartering a helicopter make sense? When time is critical and your destination is hard to reach, it's a productivity machine. If you need to access places without airports, private estates, islands, yachts, it's often the only option. Helicopters bridge the last mile like nothing else. They're also perfect for special occasions, turning a moment into an unforgettable experience. The value is in time saved, access gained, or memories made. It's not about extravagance, it's about solving problems only a helicopter can. That's when the charter truly makes sense.